Building a system for your business takes time. Now imagine that you have spent weeks or months building your business system in Notion and then your team do not use it or use it wrong. All that effort can and will be wasted if you don't do what I'm gonna show you in this video. Look, I have already built systems for more than 80 service-based businesses, and most people come to me with nothing built, but there is a subset of clients that come with an already built system. And their problem, they say, is that their team is not using the system how it's supposed to be. And notice that I say, they say, because when this happens, it is a problem of the system itself, not really of the people. And how do I know this? Because then they give me access to their system and I'm gonna act as one of their employees and I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go. I don't know what I have to do next. So typically when this happens, the business owner will spend countless of hours training their team on how to use the system. And this is what I call a sunk cost. It is a time that you're gonna spend with this particular individual that if in the future he or she leaves, you're gonna have to retrain a new person all over again. So where did this problem start? It started back when the business owner was creating the system, because he was just thinking of the system itself and not of the people that was going to use it. The objective with the system that we build is that someone with no experience with Notion whatsoever is gonna be able to use it. So for example, if I give you now an iPhone, probably you will be able to use it even if you haven't used a smartphone before. That's why they became so popular. So our system have to be the same. Very easy to comprehend, very easy to know when to take the next step, because that is the only way that we are gonna achieve adoption inside of our team. But the good news is that Notion gives us the tools to build this information inside of the system. Look, the main system that I always build for clients is the sales and fulfillment workflow. So I'm gonna use it as an example for this video, but this applies to any process, content creation, it doesn't matter. So this could be an example of a sales process with a set of statuses that the leads go through until they are converted into a client. So the issue that can happen here is that your team members will not know when to advance a lead from status 2 in this case to status 3. So the problem is that a lead may stay in the same status even if that is not his current status. And this is gonna make the whole system crumble. And we have two ways of fixing it. And what they have in common is that they focus on the user. They're gonna tell the user what is going to happen next before they take an action. So the first option will be that inside of us manually moving things forward, what we're gonna do is creating what I call an action panel. So we can create inside of the page of one of the clients a set of different buttons. And here we can already have some space to explain what is going to happen at every step of the way. So we can create a button. If you want to create a button, you can just do /button, okay? And we can create a button such as this one, that the first thing that happens when you click on it is a confirmation message, just in case the user clicked on it by error. So this will automatically send a contract to the lead. Only do this if there has been a verbal acceptance. Do you want to go ahead? Yes, no. And then we move it to the next status. Of course, if we really want to send a contract, an automation is going to read that the lead has changed status, and then it's going to trigger the sending of the contract outside of Notion. But this is a topic for another video. But you see what I'm doing here, right? I'm explaining here what's going to happen. And just in case, when I click on it, there is this, and if I really want to go ahead, then I click yes, and then the lead advances. If you're wondering, okay, but all these buttons appear in this lead, but how can I make it so it appears in every lead? So well, we can include this inside of the lead template. We can edit the template, and this template is going to be run with all the leads. So we could add here all the different buttons. Now, let me show you option number 2, which is, to my opinion, more visually appealing. And this one I'm gonna create from scratch with you. So let's say that we have here a set of statuses, and right now this guy is in a signing team. So if we want that our team simply just move things forward, what we can do is to add some context inside of this card over here, because I want to know what's going to happen if I move this guy to status number 1 and when can I do it. So for that, we can create a formula property. And what is this formula going to do? I'm going to call it helper. It is going to be a series of ifs. And let me explain you. We use the ifs function when we are going to have multiple if statements. So if something, then we do something. If something, then we do another something. So what I want is that if status equals open quotes because this is text, assigning team, then I'm gonna return advance this client on after teams being assigned. Next, status will trigger the onboarding, for example. Okay, and now we can even style it so it's a little bit more beautiful. I'm gonna make it bold and I'm gonna make it yellow. Okay, or maybe I can make it italic. Okay, and that is it. So now the only thing that I have to do is to come here and show that property, which is over here, and that's it. So now I know when I have to move this forward and what is going to happen after I move this forward. So then I'm gonna move it, and the formula is going to disappear because the if statement was linked to this assigning team. And now we can do the same. If we want to continue, we just need to create another if, now comma, and if status in this case is status 1, then whatever. Okay, and that's it. Okay, so here is whatever. So yeah, make sure that you also style it because it's just more beautiful. But like this, we can create a system that is self-explanatory, that is gonna tell you when you have to move things forward and what is going to happen once you do it. Because what I have encountered is that sometimes people are afraid of changing statuses because they know that there are some automations running in the background and they're afraid of triggering something that they shouldn't. So they tend to be a little bit more cautious. But if they know what's gonna happen and it makes sense for them, then by all means, they're just gonna move things forward because it is completely explained to the user. I mean, in fact, we can even combine these two options. We could have here an action panel with all the different statuses made with buttons, with all these confirmation pop-ups, and as well, we can have this helper function that is going to tell us what to do and when to move things forward. This will reduce greatly the introduce of human error inside of the system, and it's gonna make people more confident in using the system. And also, you have to spend much less time explaining the system to your employees. I mean, just remember, whenever you are creating something in Notion that is gonna be used for another person, make the system self-explanatory. Well, I hope that this will help you with your team adoption, because the last thing that I want is that you spend countless hours building something and that then your team doesn't use it. And that is it for this video. And as always, hasta la próxima.